Hi, everybody. My name is Lindsay, and I'm a Bravoholic.
You're preaching to the choir. Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Honey, you have to stop saying that.
So I was just saying how like LA it is that and ironically we're talking about the Valley where they all have kids, but like none of my friends have kids, and like two of them, my friend Surgeon and his wife Nicole, and my friend Phil and his wife Rosie have kids. They're so busy with kid that you just never hear from them unless I can get Phil producing something or over here on the podcast. He was on Meet My Friends.
Did you just say they're so busy with kid?
Yeah, because they each have one kid, not multiple.
Right. They are so busy with child.
I put my Metamucil in my matcha today. So hopefully is
that good?
Is the smart thing to do.
Does it taste good?
Well, I don't know. It said on the back of the package. So I was on Skinny Talk, and this is like a trigger warning, I guess, for anyone that has issues with Skinny Talk because it's quite toxic. But it's a bunch of women sharing how they stay skinny and like talking about their day, and like it's transparent and interesting. Mm-hmm. And the most common thing I see is like, fiber. Most people do not get enough fiber, and most people that are having a hard time like shedding some weight fiber can really help. Mm-hmm. If they're doing all the other things right. And so I was like, I'm going to get Metamucil.
I know many people who swear by it, and yeah.
So here we go. I'll let everyone know.
Makes you regular and makes you feel full. So fiber is that girl. I have a culinary update as well.
What?
That is the sound.
Oh my God.
That's the sound of my ice from my ice machine that Janet and I both possess. Thank you so much.
You got it?
I got it.
I'm so excited for you. This is being an adult, and like, you don't have any other responsibilities. Like, buy the ice maker.
Right. Now, I just spilled. Now is the time to make frivolous purchases like this.
That's right.
I really shouldn't have bought it. It's crazy. Because
soon you're going to have an elaborate gay wedding to have to, afford.
But we'll have ice. We won't have to worry about ice for it. No, it's like really small little nugget ice. We'll have to worry about ice. But
we'll use your ice maker, and we'll store the ice for months before
cocktails.
The wedding, so that you have, so we don't have to ask the venue to use their ice maker that's included with the venue.
Right. It's giving the frozen cocktails at Tom Tom.
If you got married today, mm-hmm. and money wasn't an object, what kind of wedding would you have?
I'd probably do what my older sister did. I'd probably do like a weekend getaway at some sort of place with water and with people I wanted there. And then I would just have a long party. And then at some point during the party, I'd be like, okay, everyone look at us real quick and do vows and then go back to partying.
That's a good idea.
Isn't that nice? I think that's right now. What about you? Actually, yeah.
What were you going to say? Finish your thought.
Well, I was gonna segue into saying like right now I'm watching Brittany and Jax plan their wedding on the end of season 7. If you wanted a Vanderpump date,
I do want a Vanderpump date.
Okay. So yeah, basically I'm watching Jax and Brittany get engaged and throw their engagement party. Her family is still not into him. And everyone's like, are we just going to let this happen? This is, my God.
I saw someone shared a montage the other day from that, and it's Jax going around to like, oh no, it was a clip from Watch What Happens Live. Let me start over. So the other day, actually on that topic, I saw an older clip from Watch What Happens Live when Andy Cohen was talking to Brittany on the show, mm-hmm. and he showed a montage of Jax going around to her family members and telling them that she lost her spark.
Really? When was that?
Have you seen that?
No.
Maybe it's coming up.
Is it after they get
before the
married?
wedding?
Oh, before the wedding.
Yeah, because it's in her hometown, and he goes around. He tells her grandma and her like mom and dad, and I'm like, could you imagine that your partner that you're planning a wedding with goes around to your family and tells them all that you've lost your spark?
I think that was their spinoff, where it was like Jax and Brittany take Kentucky or whatever, and it was a few episodes where he visits them. Yeah, right now.
Was that before the wedding or after the wedding?
Before they get
Kentucky?
engaged. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that was.
And the dad's like, I'm not 100% sold on Jax Taylor. And so then when
I wish they said something. But how could they? How could they? They met in Vegas, and I'm sure you saw young Jax. He was a hot piece of ass.
Sure.
And he got whatever he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw sweet Brittany, who was like an unpainted canvas and also worked at Hooters and probably had nice feet, which is the holy trinity for Jax Taylor.
He loves dirty feet.
Tits, malleable and controllable, and nice feet.
But like dirty. He likes them dirty and stinky.
Does he?
Yeah, when she came home from a run one day from the gym, and he goes, No. That's how I want them. He puts the dirty, stinky feet in his mouth. Which, no kink shaming, but you don't want my feet in your mouth.
No kink shaming. Honestly, foot guys are probably the easiest. Like, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Who cares? That's whatever. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the other type of kinks they come home with? I'd take a foot person any day.
Any day.
Should I tell you something really interesting?
Wait, please.
In the pandemic, I was working at a restaurant, and for months I had no access to unemployment. I'd just finished working on a show in December. I went to Disney World in January. I got COVID before we knew what COVID was. And then I started working at the restaurant in Glendale again that we worked at together for a minute.
Yeah.
I was there for literally a month and a half, and then everything shut down for the pandemic. So, and because they messed up my hours when they recorded something with the city or the government or whatever, there was a discrepancy. So they held my unemployment, and I had to keep trying to fight it. But everyone in the city was trying to call unemployment services because of the pandemic. So I couldn't get through. So for 8 months, I didn't have any check or money coming in. And so I had to hustle. I started businesses. I had a online assisting agency that I started. I launched my production company, and I created a TikTok account about feet.
Wait,
and
I
my
didn't know
plan
this.
was the account was called Footsie Girl.
Footsie Girl, cute.
And I don't know. It was just sitting on the couch with my roommate one day. I'm like, okay, what can I do to make money? And I also did shipped deliveries. I was doing everything I could do, risking my life as far as we knew, because we thought we were sanitizing groceries and stripping down in the hallway before we came in the apartment.
Time.
This is early pandemic.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'm going to start a foot account and I'll sell foot stuff. Because that was this was, this was 5 years ago. This was on the cutting edge of it before every other Tom, Dick, and Harry got involved in it. And now it's so oversaturated and terrible. But I was like, oh, this is a great idea. Even though TikTok is so censored and so hard to work around. And I remember I shot a video where I baked a chocolate cake with devil's food cake, and I just got the set at Target and I walked in the cake. I was like, someone's gonna like this.
Wait, that's amazing. Oh my God.
Someone is gonna like me walking on a chocolate cake.
Absolutely. That's
But it didn't take off the way I'd hoped. I had this plan. Can I tell you what my plan was? Because I didn't want to really interact with people.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, a lot of these, a lot of sex workers will use certain apps and stuff like that, and they'll interact with clients, and that's how they do transactions and all this crap. I didn't want to do that. I'm like, how can I make this factory systematic? And so I I was like, I'm going to make a website that does drops and you get custom Polaroids mailed to you, but you pay a subscription. Like you just opt in and then you're going to get an envelope with like pictures of feet. And then I can go around and I can pay my girlfriends and let me take pictures of their feet. So it's always different and it's always original.
This was an empire you had ready to go.
I mean, I build a business plan. If I do anything, I build a business plan.
Yeah.
I feel like you're just wasting your time if you don't. So that was my strategy. And I didn't see a market for it. Like I saw people that were like texting photos or going on like there's like this website where people, I don't know, you have a foot profile or something. I don't even remember it, but I was probably, smoking a joint when I looked at that website. But yeah, no, it didn't work out. It turns out that they're all a pain in the ass and they just want to they have other kinks and stuff, and I just wanted to sell pictures of feet, and it wasn't so simple.
Yeah, I could see how that could snowball quickly. Episode that I watched last night, he's trying to get the family on his side and his good graces at the engagement party, and at the dinner with all Brittany's brothers and her dad, he's like, oh, well, at the end of the day, this guy's number one. Like, I'm going to be number one. That's not the way to win over your, father-in-law, is to say that yourself will be number one, will always be before your daughter. It was really uncomfortable.
He's
the worst. It's the signs.
He's
there
horrible.
Were signs, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there were signs. I think the parallels to how remember when Stassi dumped him and he showed up in Big Bear and got the tattoo and was begging to get her back.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I think that the way he talks about, I'm doing everything you asked, as if there's a honey-do list to accomplish and then she'll forgive him. Mm-hmm. The way he communicates in that situation is identical to how he's talking about Brittany in some of these podcasts.
Oh, diabolical. Would you like some pieces of Bravo wisdom?
I would love some Bravo wisdom.
Here's some Bravo wisdom. Oh, speaking of feet, from season 2, episode 10, Katie, when she's drunk, talking about how Tom Schwartz needs to apologize to her, she goes, he better be on his knees, licking my toes, sucking the toe jam, begging me to forgive him. And then...
Bravo wisdom.
Season 4, episode 7, they take a boxing class, and the instructor at the end goes, way to go, prevailers. Which I really did not enjoy. Prevailers. Season 4, episode 14, Kristen offers Stassi, she says, wine, mimosa, tequila, or D, all of the above. And Stassi says, I'm on antibiotics, so wine. It's the most organic-y, natural, made of grapes.
I love that. Yeah. I TikToked last week. I posted a TikTok begging Kristen Doty to bring back the Witches of WeHo wine.
Oh yeah, I just learned about that. They just brought that up.
It's amazing, and I never got a bottle, and I really want one. So I was like, please bring it back. Now that you're famous and you're on TV again, please
bring the witches together.
So I just loved it. I love the concept. And then someone commented that you could still buy it, but it's not It's not the same. Like, it's not from them. It's from, like, some spirit company that has it on their website. I mean, I'll still buy it. Okay, fine. I just want to drink it, but
Did you ever have it before? Was it good?
I wanted to buy it. No, I've never bought it. I've never tried it. I'm sure it's average. Like, I tried Lisa Vanderpump's rosé.
How was that?
It was okay.
Yeah, like I said, like it's not giving.
It's nothing I crave. It's wine. Like, at the end of the day, good wine is wine. I'm not very particular. Like, I just don't like bad wine. So
Yeah, like I
but
said,
average wine is good wine. It's fine.
like I said before, Sir doesn't give luxury to me. It pretends to be luxury, and then you look at the food, and I think we're forgetting that the name of the restaurant is Sexy Unique Restaurant. That is so lame. Not creative.
I know. I love it. It's like Lisa was like, we got to come up with a name for this restaurant. Maybe it needs to be sexy, you know. It needs to be unique. It needs to be sexy, unique restaurant. Sir.
Because when Southern
Where you take your
California-
mistress.
Yeah. I have a problem with the way she talks to animals, specifically her dogs. She's like,
Stop it. I love how she talks to her dogs.
in a sexual manner.
Sometimes, okay, this is thing, it's called cute aggression. And you feel it in the back of your teeth when you
Yes,
see
of
something
course.
really cute and you just
Yeah, but then you say cute. You don't say, how's my sexy man? Oh, he looks sexy in that little shirt. Ew.
I know, but she's a model. She was a model for years. So maybe like she's a British model, right? And I picture like Austin Powers. Remember that scene where Austin Powers has the camera and he's like taking the picture of the model. And he's like, "Girl, you're a sexy animal. You're a."
tiger."
That's how I picture. This is how I picture the photographers talk to Lisa when she was in music videos and doing shoots back in the day. And so that has translated into like a hilarious communication with her cute little ponies and her swans, like Hanky the swan and her little ponies. I want little ponies like Lisa. Those things are darling. I want to rescue donkeys and miniature ponies, and I want them just to frolic all around my estate in
villa.
Malibu. Yeah,
Okay,
I
fair
think that'd be
enough.
great. Well, let's get on topic.
Yeah, why not?
We're here to talk about this episode of The Valley, and I loved this episode. I think I was texting you while you were at work about how obsessed I was with it. I think at one point I fell in love with Jesse. I can't believe that happened. And then
get it.
moments later that left. I mean, I think his nudity had a lot to do with it. Like, I was just really, maybe I was ovulating that day, but I thought he looked great. And I was like, oh my God, like, who cares if this man is flawed? He's smart and he's naked.
That's not really all you need.
But his smartness is bad smartness because he's manipulative as hell.
Right, he's a piece of shit, yeah.
And I still can't believe people are coming down on Michelle online. Like, I know that nobody's perfect and this divorce is going to get really messy, but I just can't believe that all these women are like condemning Michelle.
Yeah,
We've seen how Jesse's moving. It's crazy. And imagine living with someone like that and having to raise a child all by yourself and have to deal with him coming home, you know?
Yeah, I thought about it when they were driving on the way to Santa Barbara, that I was so annoyed with them talking about it. Like, these friends must be so over this messy divorce. Imagine how much they're like, oh my God, can we talk about anything else?
Maybe it'll get to that point. I saw a clip on a future episode of Brittany saying something about Jax and like, or said something about Danny and Nia, and then the clip was Nia basically going to Brittany, oh, so you're upset with your relationship with Jax, so that's okay. It's okay for you to say something about my marriage. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
Nia, oh my God.
I mean, I'll get into it. I'm a little bit angry at Brittany. But first we should clarify. Last week, we talked about our favorite moments and the most shocking moments for us in the episodes that we watched. I think we're going to officially call those Bravo moments or Hell No moments. Mm-hmm. That way it sounds a little bit more fun and on brand.
Yes.
So we each have 3 Bravo moments and 3 Hell No moments, and maybe those will overlap, maybe they won't, but it'll kind of guide us as we're talking about the episode and what we enjoyed about it, because we don't want to recap the whole episode. I know there's other podcasts that do that, unless that's what the feedback we get from listeners. They want us to do that. And we don't want to like just skim over stuff either, because we're obsessed and we want to talk about the show.
Mm-hmm. Ice break. Sorry, what?
Sounds expensive. Sounds like something Janet
would have, yeah. Right off the bat, a hell no moment. So when they're all in the cars up to Santa Barbara.
Wait. Before you start with your hell no moment, I want to ask you, Jesse's wine shirt, yay or nay?
Oh, I say yay.
Me too. I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so I know that when we did the season 1 recap for the Valley, I talked about how the first thing I agreed with Jesse on was his philosophy for packing for Airbnbs, which is assume nothing is there and bring everything, including the blender. And so I really like that when he travels, he's planning these little outfits. I know it's also for camera, but whatever. He's taking time to plan his little outfits. He's theming them. I think it's cute. And I like his wine shirt. And I think it's also so funny that Janet's killing it this episode with the quips at Jesse. She's coming for him. And the little digs that get under his skin start here. She literally says, "Where'd you get that?"
What is that?
What is that? And he's like, "It's a wine shirt. We're going to wine country. I thought it was appropriate." And she's in like an Old Navy linen, like black 2-piece, which no shade either. My sister and I love some Old Navy sometimes. And so, but it was just so funny because you could just sense that Jesse is like, of course you don't get fashion, Janet. Because like Janet's always in athleisure. Yeah. Like almost always in athleisure wear.
He's like, you don't get kitsch. Okay, Janet, you don't know what that is. This is kitsch.
And Jesse was a model with Jax. That's how they met. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh,
I didn't know that either until recently. But totally adds up. Like, think about these guys that Jax hangs out with. Tom Schwartz, Tom Sandoval, Jesse. They're all ex-models. And it's like they all have these same level of toxicity from probably being a model.
Of course, yeah.
Kick us off with one of your Bravo or Hell No moments.
My first Hell No moment was when they were in the cars up to Santa Barbara, and it was the car with Zach and Jasmine and I think Danny and Nia. And Jasmine pulls out a little popsicle paper man of Benji. And everyone is like, "Oh my gosh. Oh, what is that?" Oh my God. It was not that big of a deal. It's like, do you remember?
Oh my God.
Did you ever do Flat Stanley in school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you would send a Flat Stanley to a loved one, and Flat Stanley would go on all the vacations, and they'd take pictures, and you have to do a report when they come back. It was like Flat Benji. And it was in that same car ride that I think Brittany was in that car maybe, where they just popped up all these texts from Jax. It was just messy. It was a messy car
Can I tell you something?
Please.
I have a theory about why they did the Flat Stanley Benji.
Why?
Because last season, Jasmine and Zach were just friend of, right? Mm-hmm. So if you think about them going home at the end of the first season, getting all this great fan feedback because the fans love Zach and they love Jasmine. And they were like, okay, what can we bring to season 2 to make sure we're like a full-fledged cast member? And they get insecure about not being in a partnership. Mm-hmm. Zach and Jasmine both had responses to that for season 2. Jasmine got into a relationship and is talking about engagement for her storyline on the show, which I love her girlfriend. Meeting her girlfriend in this episode was awesome. Yeah. She is the sweetest person. I've watched how she moved the whole episode, and she came in the door, brought stuff, was really kind and sweet. She, during the car racing, went out and was like refereeing and flipping the cars over, and she barbecued for all of them, the dinner. Mm-hmm. So I was like, this angel. She's beautiful. So love it. But Zach doesn't have a relationship.
Kind of. But
Or he
somewhat.
kind of does with this Benji person that we haven't seen yet. But to represent that and to have this storyline of like my Canadian somewhat boyfriend getting divorced is going to come live with me for the summer, but he's not here yet. But I want to preface him in some episodes before he shows up to secure that narrative and storyline for him instead of it being a fight with someone like a Janet or Brittany.
Right.
They probably got together and were talking and like came up with this popsicle stick Benji thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, is Jasmine the type? Maybe she's crafty. I don't really know much about her, which is devastating. I think we should learn more about her. And maybe she is a crafty girl. Maybe she sits at home and like I do. Like I literally I'm painting. Here's my crafty girl project right now. I'm painting my
cute.
Trader Joe's tote bag
that
with
is
little
so
fruits.
What, like fabric paint? What do you use?
Just acrylic paint. Who cares?
Yeah.
This thing is made of canvas and it was $3. I know everyone wanted one and it was a hot commodity, but ultimately it's a canvas tote bag and it was $3. So I'm trying to paint fruit on it. If I hate it, I don't care. I hate it.
Yeah.
But maybe it'll be cute.
It looks cute so far. to me.
Anyway, so maybe Jasmine's into crafts like that, and she
Yeah.
did make a little stick figure Benji. Maybe it was a little bit more thought out. I mean, if I was on a reality show, I would at least put 10 minutes of thought into this stuff before the season started. Okay, what did you think of Jesse greeting them at the door with white flags?
I mean, it was annoying.
Michelle, you need this.
Most of all.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she just attack him? I would probably, maybe it starts playfully, but I would attack him when he makes those little digs.
I would snatch the pile of flags out of his hand and throw them on the ground. He'd be like, "Where's my room?"
Which room is mine?
Yeah.
But I love it. Like, again, they continually show up and aren't afraid, like, of each other. And, like, afraid, like, they both know they're going to be fine with. It's so funny. It's
weird.
like, he's definitely not as, like, dangerous as Jax. I do think that he has a little bit of, there's something going on, but I don't think he's going to hit his full crazy for a while.
He is still a menace, but in a totally different way. And their relationship is so, it reminds me of Playground at this point, where they're just jabbing at each other and it just get divorced already. I don't know. It's a nightmare.
I love it.
Oh yeah, it's great TV, but I wouldn't want to be around it in real life.
No. Okay.
So my first Bravo moment is when they're getting ready for the racetrack and they're getting in their outfits, and Danny drops his IMDb credit that he was in Superfast, the Fast and Furious spoof. So he knows what he's doing. That was so funny.
And he does, because he wins.
He wins, yeah.
So he's not wrong. All these guys are so competitive. Like, they're all, and that's why, like, I don't know, there's something about cis male straight men, and when they bond, and like there's a certain type of cis male straight man that's like these competitive bro types, and it is fun. It's fun to watch them get really into stuff like that, as long as they're not like poor losers about it.
I disagree.
You hate it.
You know, one of my least favorite phrases is "Let's go." It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. I don't like "let's go," but I do like enthusiasm.
But if a straight guy were to call me bro, I drop to my knees. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, wouldn't you feel like respected in a way? Like, wouldn't like some deep-seated childhood thing feel? That's good. Okay, so if I have a future partner that's a guy, I'm gonna have him call you bro, and then you're gonna love him.
And then I'm gonna take him to another room.
That's your secret key. That's the key. That's all it took.
That's all it took. Wait, acceptance from a straight man from my childhood? That's all I need.
Oh, I'm healed. I can cancel
healed.
all my therapy sessions.
What can I do for you?
Okay, a Bravo moment for me was when Luke and Kristen take a while to come to the kitchen in their racing outfit. And it's because we see Crystal puts her fertility crystal outside the door and they're hooking
Yes,
up. And Nia's like, I saw a hat on the door. What took so long? And then they're all smiley. And Kristen goes, don't worry, we washed our hands after. And then they all laugh. And I thought that was such a funny response, like to say to the parents, like the two Christian bunnies that can't stop having kids, like to be like, don't worry, we washed our hands. And I would love to hear that someone washed their hands after they did something like that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I'd be like, thank you.
Because I feel like there's like semen and poop on everything, you know?
Oh, yeah. I don't even want to get you on the topic of semen and poop being on everything. I know you have a firm-footed belief and facts to back it up.
I sure do. I know we've discussed this in the past, but the episode of Mythbusters where they tested, so they wanted to test how far away your toothbrush needed to be in your bathroom so that it didn't get fecal matter on it from the toilet. So they moved it farther and farther away, and they tested it, and it always had fecal matter on it. So then they opened up a brand new toothbrush, tested it, and it had fecal matter on it.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's just
Because the person that made the toothbrush it's all airborne.
Oh, absolutely.
Unless
Charticles.
you have an air purifier with a UV light like I do.
Do you
There's
really?
no fecal matter here. Yeah.
No charticles flying around?
None. Charticle-free environment here.
Free radicals, free charticles.
Ew, okay. Bravo.
Oh, yeah. Bravo.
I love that on this episode, there are coordinated outfits. I love the effort that this group is putting into it as well. They don't feel like cheap costumes like on Summer House. I mean, don't get me wrong, Summer House goes all out with the costumes, but I just think they all look so good in these racing outfits that they've all put on.
They do.
Everyone looks so hot.
Yeah.
I was like, everyone here is hot. And I also love the solid color looks they change into for dinner after, where Zach is in the teal 2-piece, Brittany's in the solid tangerine dress, Janet's in purple or something, or fuchsia.
Like they're Power
They're
Rangers.
all wearing they're all, yeah, but tropical.
Tropical Power
themed.
Rangers. Yeah.
Tropical LA Power Rangers.
Hey guys, the memo for this weekend is Tropical Power Ranger, okay? Don't ask any questions.
It really, and it's not the outfits that do it, but the outfits add to it. After seeing them racing the cars together and just actually being friends on camera, it's nice to see them do that and then also have looks that they've obviously talked about offline and put together offline, like they're really friends. And I really think I missed that this season on Southern Charm and Southern Hospitality. Those casts right now feel very assembled and they don't feel like they're naturally all vibing as friends all the time. And I think there's a lot of magic in some of these Bravo shows, especially with the younger that aren't housewife properties. It's important. Vanderpump was so successful because they were really friends. So they would go through things together and they were stuck with each other. And I think this group feels like that. So as flawed as Jax Taylor is emotionally, he did assemble a really great group of people. And I do think that him and Jesse putting together the boys chat, well, I'm not going to say that was a choice to create storylines on the show, but I think that it definitely created an environment that you knew couldn't go well.
Oh yeah, they're two pot stirrers. Why don't we make a digital pot that we can stir? Yeah.
Oh my God. And if I had a guy that was in that group chat, I would make him stay in it so I could see everything.
Yeah.
And they're all doing that. Every single wife and girlfriend of those guys knows what's going on in the group chat.
Yes.
There's no fucking doubt.
They all said it in their confessionals. They're like, we all know what's going on. Everyone tells everyone everything.
But they blame Danny. Jesse blames Danny.
Yeah.
Jesse just pokes at Danny whenever he can. It's very younger brother. It's very fraternity.
Yeah, he's jealous. He wants to be like the patriarch of the group. I'm the number one guy in this group, okay?
There's literally like I want to create a infographic, and it's like the Bravo fraternity, like call it Bravo, 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 and it's literally like Kyle Cook from Summer House, like Tom Schwartz, Jax, Jesse, Jason, Danny. Like even though Jason and Danny aren't at all at their level, they feed into this masculine pyramid of Bravo fraternity.
They want to be part of the group, yeah.
Who else would be in that group? That would be a really good.
James
I'm gonna
Kennedy.
put that's a good conversation to start on TikTok and see what people say. I'm gonna bring it to TikTok. And if you aren't following me on TikTok yet, Filmmaker or Lindsay St. Laurent. I'm posting all the time about the shows, ideas, thoughts, conspiracies. I did the Valley 500 the other day, where after I watched this episode, I ranked the cast based on who I think is a Sunday driver, all the way down to who I don't want to see in the rearview mirror.
Oh. My Bravo moment was also the racetrack and the outfits, specifically Jesse's lack of when he didn't
Came out shirtless.
Yeah, that was great.
And Janet goes, "Put a shirt on."
It very much reminded me of Lala going, "Wrap it up" at Kristen's maid of honor speech.
Yes, at the wedding.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
But this whole racetrack thing, like you said, they're very much friends in this episode, and we get to see that. And it reminded me of something that we would do on a vacation, like an organized competition to not have to do chores at night. And I just know that if I won, I would just be like, okay, so I'm done with my dinner. Who's going to clear my plate? I won, so take me to bed.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know what my role would be in that scenario? Is that I would want to win, but I wouldn't let myself win because I would have the expectation that everyone thinks that I want to win. So I intentionally don't. That way I don't look like that person.
Yeah, I know this because whenever we used to play board games or any sort of game night in LA, everyone would gang up on me because they know that it's very important to me. And then they would gaslight me like, "Oh, wow, you're like getting really worked up. Are you okay? Why are you like this?"
That's literally me though. That's exactly how I play. I've been like that since I was a kid. My grandma on my mom's side, my grandma Helen, cares so much about winning. Mm-hmm. And she's not competitive or vicious in any way, but you can just sense it that my only goal in the game is to make sure she doesn't win.
Right.
And that sounds cruel, but it's fun. It's got lots of teasing involved, and in my family, that's like how you show love.
That's great. Yeah, I love
winning
it.
is a bonus, but at the end of the day, you just want the person that cares the most about winning to lose. It's how you keep them humble.
Yeah, well, it worked. I never won anything.
Winning doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. If you say so.
Okay, it depends on who it is, I guess.
Well, see, because I was never very good at any athletics, so the fact that it was like a board game that I could potentially win because I have some sort of skill or strategy, I was an athlete of the mind.
You have something to prove to yourself.
Yeah, I could win this.
And I did play sports, but I wasn't the best, so that got programmed out of me quickly. Like if you play sports a lot growing up, you learn really quickly that like there's so many factors into success, and it's like impossible for you to actually control it besides doing the best that you can.
Yeah, that's true. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I remember I was like in high school and I was like the captain of my travel team.
Oh my God.
But then my high school basketball coach would bench me for games. I wouldn't play because I just wasn't a priority on his team. Right. And so, but as a teenager, that's really hard, and you're working hard to like get the approval of these authority figures in sports that it's hard to comprehend. Like that one person sees you as a failure, but the other team sees you as a value.
Yeah.
So I remember grasping that, and then I remember that someone's younger sister who was on the bench with me, who was hilarious, like we would just have a blast sitting on the bench, just talking and making fun of everything that was going on, and that really helped me put it in perspective for me. The award doesn't matter. The win doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just sabotaging everybody else.
Famed drag
That's
queen famed drag queen Alyssa Edwards always says, winning isn't everything, but wanting to is.
Oh my God, I love Alyssa Edwards. She is still one of my favorite drag queens.
She's everything, yeah.
She's everything. And I want her to be on House of Villains.
But she wasn't a villain.
I don't care. I think she could, if she came on to House of Villains and they were like, this is House of Villains, then she would bring it out and she would do things that were supposed to be villainous and it would be genius.
All right.
So I watched her on The GOAT. She was on The GOAT.
Oh, yeah, the goat, yeah.
With Kristen Doty.
I didn't know that.
And yeah, you should watch it. It's fun. It's the cheapest thing. I think they filmed it in the pandemic. So it's like all in one mansion and it's really, really cheap looking, but it's funny because the personalities they bring in are so good. Okay. Oh, hell no. Janet.
What? I love her this episode. What did she do?
I do love her this episode and I hope she hears me say it because she needs to hear it more because lately I've been a hater. But hell no, Janet. She's jealous that, okay, so Zach doesn't even want to go out into the course. He literally at the beginning and someone's going to have to go referee in the middle and like fix the cars or whatever, right? Zach literally goes, oh, I don't want to do that. And then next thing you know, they cut to Zach has to do it. And he's in the middle of the course with like an umbrella because the sun is beating down. And he's like just watching the cars go by. And he's miserable. But Janet is out in like the grandstands or whatever. And she's jealous and calls him Princess Peach. And she's jealous of the attention he's getting.
Oof, yeah, that's kind of shady, yeah.
It's kind of dark. It's kind of lets us in a little bit on like how Janet thinks. And I just think I think it's kind of crazy. So I was like, oh, hell no, Janet. Like,
hell no, Janet.
You're jealous of him? You could go out there, go do it. She's like, oh, well, I don't want to do it.
I want the attention without doing it.
Yeah.
It's not fair. I'm Princess Peach. I have the cute umbrella.
Oh, okay.
She did redeem herself.
How about you?
She did redeem herself for me when she fought Jessie. That was really great.
It was a really, really great moment. And I think that now might be a really good point to share my final bravo moment of the episode. Bravo, Jason. Bravo. Mm-hmm. I think he is officially the most attractive husband on this show.
Wow.
And I'm willing to put aside his toxic career because I can change him. We can change legal jobs. That's no problem.
Right.
But he's just so intelligent and so secure. And I'm like waiting to see a flaw here. The fact that he was so supportive to Brittany in the previous episodes. And now Janet has this spat. So Jessie comes up to Janet and Brittany and is like, hey, it's not cool that you're telling people to block Orange County girl. And she's like, what do you mean? Who's people? I'm not telling people. And Jason's like, I'm people. And like he's translating for Jessie, but he's not interfering in the conversation. And Janet goes, that's my husband. That's not people. Like she's threatening legal action on us, sending letters, legal cease and desist letters.
Right.
So yeah, we're going to block her. And she's like, why does this matter? Are you even dating her anyway? And Jesse's like, no. and he's like, don't try to manipulate this. Don't try to manipulate this or whatever. He's like, she's sending legal letters to like your ex-wife, our friend and our friends. Like it doesn't, why is she dating? Yeah. Like, her point is, why are you dating someone? She knows you're in the spotlight. If she has such a big problem with you being in the spotlight, then why is she seeing you? And it's you and I, Thomas, we know it's intentional. She's trying to get worked into the storyline because she's also fucking a guy from Baywatch. Like she's clearly into famous men to a degree.
And thank you for your breakdown of who that person was. I saw that on your TikTok. I thank you for clearing that up. Who the Baywatch person was.
Hot. He's hot, right? He's totally hot. Yeah. So anyway, so all this is happening and he's like, don't manipulate this, blah, blah, blah. And she starts to walk away and he says something like, well, maybe if your friend didn't cheat on me. And she goes, if you were my husband, I'd cheat on you too. Mm-hmm.
Love that.
And I was just like, I fucking loved it. I was like, ooh, I need a cigarette after that. That was amazing. But what I want to point out and I want to recognize is that Jason didn't try to jump in the conversation. He didn't try to silence his wife. He didn't, like, he's supportive and strong, but he and Janet in their group of friends are seen as individual people. And I think that's something a lot more people need to call attention to, because a lot of people that get into couples are just always seen as the couple. Like they're in each other's scene a lot. And I feel like even though they're in the same group of friends and they all know each other very well, they're individuals. And so I wanted to commend Jason for being great. And then there's another moment later in the episode when they're doing their like healing circle thing with the ball, and Jason speaks on behalf of Brittany and asking like for good energy to be sent to Jax to go through rehab and stuff. So nice. And you could tell Brittany wanted to say it, but she didn't want to say it. And it literally was like so happy for her. I was like, oh, Jason. And she's like, thank you, Jason. Like, I didn't want to say it. And obviously she didn't, but it was so sweet that he could like see that and do it in the moment. That was so strong and powerful.
Yeah. Need I remind you, you had ranked him your least favorite character last season. Isn't that crazy?
It's not crazy. I flip-flop faster than Sheena. Like, I will forgive. I'm very open. I have a Libra rising and a Gemini sun, and I'm a very open person. I believe in people changing, but you got to see it. You know, the action's got to be there. Right. And I mean, I was on workers' comp because of a dog attack, so I don't have very positive things to say about attorneys that defend corporations against minimum wage workers.
Right.
When they get injured at work. I think that's particularly savage. After seeing where this cast all lies and how they treat people, Jason is by far.
He's up there. Yeah.
He's hot and he's like emotionally secure. It's so cool. Even later, when he follows Jesse to his room at the very end of the episode, like, think of how secure and strong this guy is to follow drunk Jesse, who's having a tantrum in his bedroom.
In his underwear.
In with the cameras. Like, he's the one that goes. Like, I just think I want to learn more about Jason. I want to see more, like, where are his limits? What rattles Jason? Because right now, nothing rattles Jason. Well, his wife is Janet.
Well, we do know his flaw is coming, because remember, his storyline is that he goes out without his ring on.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see it.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. I think it could be something innocent. Like, I know that he's not a blue collar worker, but I know a lot of blue collar guys that take their rings off because there's something called like glove finger or something. Like, if you're wearing a ring and under your gloves, like, and something happens, you could like lose a finger or something. Yeah. So maybe he has an excuse like that, because right now I don't believe it. There's even a little cutaway moment in the background where you see him and Janet having a moment and they're kissing in their little racing outfits. Mm-hmm. And it's not for well, maybe it is for camera. You know, I can't tell what is and what isn't right now, but it's in the background of a shot. So I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Janet and Jason won me over this episode, man. Yeah. I can't believe it.
I know. Yeah, they're rising in the ranks for me as well. I
couldn't believe it.
My next hell no moment was just a brief moment on the veranda when Danny, Jason, and Jesse were talking while dinner was being made, and Jesse was like, oh, you know, I thought that we could leave everything behind in LA and just have fun, just have a nice chill weekend. And my thought was, why would you ever think that? You all wouldn't have anything to talk about. Like,
who said that?
Jesse.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's just saying that to be fucking patronizing.
Exactly. It's like,
he's like, I just tried to plan a nice weekend and you guys are ruining it. It's like, okay.
Okay. If you wanted to plan a nice weekend, you wouldn't have invited Michelle. And again, and in the beginning, when it was, when they do like a cold open of a quick check-in of everyone, when Aaron and Michelle were at lunch or something, and he goes, well, maybe you just shouldn't go. My first instinct was, yeah, why don't you just not go? You don't need to go. But she wants to be on the show, so.
All right. So, well, what were we talking about? Oh, the fact that Jesse thought that it was going to be a nice weekend, and he's being a little patronizer. I want to, I think it's time that I bring up this episode's demonic behavior.
Zach's demonic behavior. Zach's demonic behavior. Demonic, 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 demonic. Zach's demonic behavior.
Yeah, and we all know who's going to get the label today, and it is Jax Taylor. The fact that he is messaging Brittany like this is insane, and I love that she's putting it on camera. I love it. Like, don't be shy, girl. This is despicable. He is so sick. He is so fucked up. The fact that he thinks that after everything he's done, that this woman's going to be like by his side supporting him. The fact that in the after show, he's talking about his marital vows.
If she could just put like, everything
sickness
I did,
and health.
To the
I'm
side
sick.
And just text me that she's thinking of me. That woman owes you nothing.
I literally think that if we didn't have this show, they could still be together because she wouldn't have it so in her face how he's behaving because he was able to sweep it away for so long.
And the fact that he has this was my final hell no moment, that he has a video diary, that this place is letting him have his phone.
Oh, I hate that they put him a video diary on the episode. They should not have given him any camera time in the episode. He should not have gotten paid for the episode at all.
And again, in his merch, what are you doing? Like, why are you still in your merch being a menace?
He's insane. It's not good for He's insane. Yeah. Let me read you some of the messages that he texted Brittany. And then he started, and the second Kristen responded to him, he started responding to Kristen and texting her all crazy. I was like, oh, he's unhinged. This guy he's insane. Here it is. Okay. He says things like, you took my son from me. Disgusting.
Yikes.
Am doing this for my son. My God, your family is the most fucked up I have ever seen, and they would never do what you did. You took my job away from me. I've worked so hard for 2 years for this, and you took it from me. I will never forgive you. You've destroyed the only thing that and then they blurred it out. He said something there. It's the one, I will never forgive you. You have destroyed the only thing, the only fucking thing. Something Ryan said, I don't blame you. And what she did was ruthless. Showing people that video is absolutely disgusting.
What video?
I know. I don't know.
Who's Ryan?
But I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane. It's just blocks of him, and then on the show they talk about how he's like going and doing therapy for an hour and then going back to his room on his phone for 15 minutes and like messaging her all this stuff. And I even posed a question on TikTok. I was like, I wonder if Jax is messaging the boys chat all this hate right now because he's like spiraling, or if he's like pretending it's all cool, calm, and collected on his end with the boys chat. Or is he just not even acknowledging the boys chat? But right now, the way he reacted to Kristen, it makes me feel like he wants just anybody to pay attention to him.
And he's ready to complain to anyone about how this is anyone's fault but his.
Exactly. I want to see the boys. I want them to publish everything in the
Whoever
boys
the mole
chat.
is, get on it.
Put it in a hardcover book. Put it in a hardcover book. Like from the day it started to up until now, and just Publish it all. I want to read it. I would literally just pictures of the text can be on each page, and I'll eat that
Not
shit
even
up.
typed
It'll
out
be
in a
New York Times
manuscript, just
bestseller.
the screenshots.
Yeah, no, I don't even want it typed up. I want the screenshots. So if anyone here is listening in that group chat, or Jax himself, or
The mole.
producers, publish the book, publish the chat. You will make a fortune.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that's demonic behavior. The fact that he got that stupid
I
video
know.
at the end of the episode where he's just rambling. I mean, it's on one hand, from like psychotherapy standpoint, it's fascinating.
And like sad, like he's
listen.
really unwell, but it's hard to, I don't know, it's hard to treat him as the more I watch this show, I now think it's a soap opera, and these are characters, not real people. I have to remember that he is a person who is unwell, but I'm finding it really hard to have sympathy for him, you know?
No, there's no sympathy. I want the worst things to happen to him. I know he hasn't even hit rock bottom yet, and I want worse things to happen. That's so mean, but that's real. I want him to hurt the way he's hurt other people.
He did say in the after show he's never been held responsible for his actions. And I was like, wow, okay, yeah, that's actually true. Okay, therapy did something.
You can see in the after show that he's using language that shows that he's made progress, but then the episode that just went out that we did last week, where I go back and forth between a couple podcasts, comparing him talking on the Hot Mic podcast and Brittany going through all the lies that he told on the Hot Mic podcast, really tells me that he's actually not doing a lot. He's acknowledging some stuff, but he's not actually doing active recovery work to overcome those things. He's pretending to do it, though. And he's using language like he's doing it, though. And I really have a problem. There was like a whole scandal that came out with Jonah Hill a year or two ago, where he was using therapy terms with his girlfriend to like put her, like, to gaslight her and to like, you know, and it was really, really toxic. And it started this whole conversation about men that use therapy terms incorrectly. And I just think that like now Jax is going to become the spitting image poster child of that.
Yeah.
Because he's like learned a couple words. So now he's going to come in and tell everyone that they're...
Well, this is narcissistic behavior you're presenting, just like me. And I'd be like, okay, you don't get to tell me. Yeah.
I'm going to beat you up now. Like, it's just viscerally, it makes my body angry. And it makes me want to just like take a fork in his thigh or something.
Yeah. Or like next week, throw a drink in the face.
I really relate to early Stassi being so like angry, physically angry with her words. Like, remember how she used to say, like, threaten crazy
Oh,
things?
yeah, she was like, I'm going to rip his throat out and then blend it up and feed it to him in a smoothie and then cut his arms off. Like, she was dark.
That is getting jaxed. That's actually what getting jaxed is. Is it like, makes you so angry inside that like the only way to get it out is to picture actually hurting somebody.
Right.
And I'm not somebody that actually pictures hurting anybody ever. But for some reason, this person, when I really think about it, or if I watch what he's doing this season, it makes me
violent.
It's demonic behavior. Janet put it best. It's demonic behavior. Are you ready to hear another hell no moment?
Please.
And actually, this comes from it's from the episode, but they highlight it on the after show.
Okay.
And I think I got the ick from Danny and Nia.
Oh, no, wait. Tell me why.
I can't believe it. I'm actually kind of shocked.
Yeah.
Thank you for creating a safe space for me to say this.
Of course.
And of course, I could flip-flop next week and I could be totally
fine with them.
Danny. But right now, there was a moment in in Willa the hippie that Kristen brings in. They do a moment where they like are asked to put their hands up for the moon or some Mother Moon or something. And Nia and Danny sit back and they're like, that's not my God. I'm not going to do it. And I got the Christian ick.
They said that?
Yeah,
oh, that's right, in the after show.
They touch upon it really lightly, but the Christian shine burst through them at that moment. And I was like, oh. And I think there's another moment, too, in the episode where somebody says they all go to church together. I think Jason and Janet go to church with Nia and Danny. But
Yeah.
Jason, which is like, now look at how sick I am. I'm like, oh, Janet and Jason go to church. That's cute.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they need church. but the fact that Nia and Danny, this is the thing about Christian. I don't care because I grew up Catholic, so I'm gonna speak my piece about Christianity
for it.
because
Go for
I
it.
was raised in that environment. And for me, I just think it's like. I respect if you are like, I worship God, but like, I think your God's gonna be okay if like you put your arms up for the moon during filming a scene. Like, you know what I mean? Is Danny saying, oh, I can't be a zombie in this because you don't come back from the dead unless you're Jesus?
Wait,
Like,
what?
no,
He said that?
he's doing zombie parts.
Oh,
He's being
oh,
a zombie, and he's
good
being
point.
something that's supernatural and outside of his faith. But like, he can't put his hand up for the moon because Willa's leading them in a thing. Like, really, is that gonna offend your God? That's my point. It's like, where do you draw the line, and why is the moon a bigger deal than a character?
Yeah. My problem with organized religion is when the interpretations get, what's the word? They go after marginalized communities and become diabolical and evangelical. Like when you're trying to make your religion my religion. It just it doesn't feel right to me. But I forget if it was a sketch or a comedian, but they talked about Jesus in a way like he was like a Bravo housewife where people are interpreting the Bible and then he goes, no, play the tapes back. I didn't say that. I said. Wait,
I want to see that. I want to see that.
Where he goes,
okay,
no,
you gotta
love
send that
thy
to me.
neighbor. I said, love thy neighbor.
That's hilarious. But that's the kind of the thing I mean. And I'm like, okay, but wait, if we're believing that like God made the earth in 7 days and he made the moon and he made everything, then why can't we worship the moon? It's God's creation. Like, it's just things like that where I have like so many questions. And that's why the priest told my grandma that I was the theologian of the family, because I was constantly questioning everything religious.
Oh,
Always.
interesting.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, oh no, grandma. I'm here to I'm tearing it all apart.
Wow. Yeah, I was...
But it's cute when Janet and Jason go to church. That's cute.
Right, it's
this
for
for
now
me
it's
this
cute.
week.
Yeah. For this week it's cute.
This week I'm like, should I go to church if Janet and Jason go to church? Like, it's like day and night to where I was last week. But all it takes is for you to give me some good reality TV, Janet. Shit on Jesse, challenge Jesse. And then Jason's there like being a man and like not afraid to jump into a hard conversation. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in love.
I'm in love.
I was almost in love with Jesse because he was naked a lot. And then I was like, then he talked and I was like, okay, hold on a second. There was a moment that I want to acknowledge in Willa's little truth thing. Or no, it wasn't Willa's truth thing. It was with the ball after, which I think was a Luke and Kristen edition.
Oh, the gratitude ball.
Because Willa wasn't there anymore for that. But Jesse, first off, Luke says, don't give the ball to your partner. Give it to somebody else. And Jesse's drunk at this point. I think he holds his liquor very well because he's a frat boy. So you can't really tell, but he's drunk. And he gives the ball to Michelle. And then he goes, and Zach, don't roll your eyes at Michelle the way you did at me.
Love that.
And I thought that was hot. I was like,
yeah.
For just a moment, because it was so bold to call, and the way he called him out too was like this, like as if he was doing it to like respect Michelle, which I thought was like so devious. It was hot.
Yeah. And then when he finished the episode in his underwear, that was just the cherry on top where I was like, yeah.
Everyone's shitting on his underwear, but I thought he looked good.
Are you kidding me? Of course he did, yeah. And then in the after show, they all talked about how they all wear briefs. And I'm like, do I need to wear briefs? I guess
Briefs
I should.
are definitely in. Briefs have been in for a minute.
They said
though.
bikini cut briefs, which is more intense than I thought.
Yeah, well, they're models, so.
Oh, true.
Briefs have been in for a while since people started realizing that if you're wearing boxers, your scrotum gets stretched, and then you have like really hangy, shitty balls when you get older.
Okay, what about boxer briefs? Does that count?
They're not supportive enough unless you got the I don't know if it's Me Undies or like one of those underwear brands that has the pocket in the front for you to put your balls in so they don't dangle.
Okay, I have one pair of those. Okay, I need to get more then.
That's the thing that you want, because it went like this. The transition went like this. Boxers were cool in the 90s. Then it was boxer briefs with American Eagle and like Hollister and Abercrombie. And then it was men's Lululemon underwear. That was all the rage. And then like I think MeUndies or somebody came out with the ball holders. And then the studies started coming out about, and people started getting like scrotum surgery because they didn't want low-hanging balls when they were older. I think because of a Johnny Knoxville jackass bit, honestly. If I was to draw a timeline, I would include that because Johnny Knoxville used to do this old grandpa that had his balls hanging out all the time.
That's
And I
right.
feel like that did something to men. And then that helped with this transition of now that briefs are back.
Have you heard of what it's called? I've heard of this.
What?
Scrotox.
Scrotum.
Isn't that so gross?
Wait, what do you mean? Like they're putting Botox in their scrotum?
In their scrotum, yeah, to like tighten it up.
What does that do?
Yeah.
Like to fill it?
No, I think just like the loose skin.
I don't like the idea of a needle going down there at all, and I don't even have one.
I mean, that's what old men like will inject Trimex into their penis so they can get an erection. It's like Viagra times 1,000.
Hey, how come that's okay? But if God wants us to get pregnant, okay, then we have to stay pregnant. I think if your dick doesn't work, then if you're of the belief that we have to give birth if we get pregnant and there's no contraceptives and no abortion,
Guess what?
your dick can't work.
God doesn't want your dick
Guess
to
what?
work.
Your dick can't work. That's right. God took that dick away.
And that Rogaine.
Wow, we are political this episode. I'm offending political people. I'm offending religion. This podcast is never going to be successful.
And that Rogaine and that Rogaine and that stuff for your hair, Mama, that is gender affirming care. Okay?
That's right. That is gender affirming care, bitch.
Anyway,
That wig.
that wig, gender affirming. Zach, that rug. Even though we know it's not.
I love Zach, and I think we should talk about the conversation that Zach and Janet sat down and had.
Oh yeah, word salad, no dressing. That was just words.
Honestly, I'm reserving my last hell no moment for Brittany, but I want to talk about the conversation between Zach and Janet. I think Zach is a very emotional person, and I love that about him. I think it makes him great for TV. And I loved when he found out that Brittany told her
That was so funny.
the next day. And Brittany, I guess, told him that she went to lunch with Janet and then told Janet later. She lied to Jack, or to Jack. Oh my God, she lied to Zach. And so he was processing that during that conversation. And he calls for Nia to come over and hold his hand.
Yeah.
You know how happy I would have been to be the
The hand
person
holder.
called to hold Zach's hand in a conversation with Zach and Janet? Like, that's my dream.
I think you'd be great
That's
at
my-
it.
I think if anything, maybe I should just be friends with Janet. Like, she'll respect that I'm a fan, but also like get it.
Yeah.
That'll help her make great TV. But the fact that she was holding her hand, I was a little annoyed that like Janet took almost no accountability for her baby moon. It's a cast trip
Right.
last season that she left him out on. And specifically, the thing that she also didn't take accountability for that really bothered me was when she sent her gay pink crocked henchman to video him finding out that he wasn't invited to her baby moon. That was diabolical.
And
And I loved
Yeah.
it. But I think like if they were having that conversation and Zach was taking accountability for the things he said and like being honest about like not meaning it, being drunk, like feeling left out from not being invited on the trip or whatever, like Janet could have taken accountability for something. And that's what I wanted her to take accountability for, because it felt really devious to send somebody in to record that.
And when he called her to ask why he wasn't invited, and she had him on speaker without him knowing, with her little gaze.
With them there too, all reacting to
Yeah.
him and making him seem crazy. Like it was.
Yeah, that was.
It definitely didn't. It doesn't feel like a real friendship for sure. But
Which she later said
I love
she
it.
later said in the after show. He was like, Jen and I had a close friendship. It cuts to her. We were never close friends. I was like, oh my God. I love it.
I love it, but also like in that for that conversation to actually have gone somewhere, I think she would have needed to take
A little bit more.
accountability for that, and she didn't. She didn't do it at all.
It was more just like, let's move forward. Yeah. So my last Bravo moment was kind of a couple moments in the mandala ceremony, but it was really the ceremony in general. I loved that Willa called herself a ceremonialist and something else and sacred photographer. I don't know what that means, but I want to know more. And my favorite.
We need to hire her.
Yes.
We need to hire her.
Oh my God, you totally could. And then when she was describing the process, and she goes, and then we'll take chunks of earth magic and put them in a mandala, and Brittany starts laughing. I loved Brittany that whole scene. And my favorite thing she said was, I mean, we could just smoke a big fat joint and send it around the circle, and I think we could do the same thing. And I was like, that is such a good idea. This cast just needs to get a high.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's coming with how much even in the after show where Jesse's talking about why can't like we should just do Molly or something like that. Or one time I did Molly. Like I think it's only a matter of time before they do some kind of like if they did ayahuasca on TV, I would love it.
Do you ever see the Chelsea Handler had a show Chelsea Does?
I'm familiar with it, but I haven't seen it.
So she did one. Excuse me. There was one episode called Chelsea Does Drugs, and they filmed her doing ayahuasca in Peru. It was really cool.
That is really cool. Did she like shit herself and puke and stuff?
The first time she didn't because the people she was with were doing all that, and she was like being mother to them. And then she was like, "No, I need to go back." So she did the next time, and did all that. Crazy.
I don't really have a desire to put my body through that.
Absolutely not. No.
But you know what? Someone could inspire me. I think I could get whipped up in like a trip to Peru or like Guadalupe. That is not a place. That is not Guadalupe. Guatemala. Okay.
Yeah.
If it was like going to Guatemala or something like that, like I could maybe be inspired to do it. But it's just like when you really think about like the purging that has to happen.
Oof. No. And an honorable mention.
I just don't like ever being sick like that. Like if I have the flu, like I recently had the norovirus it was during the Super Bowl and it was a horrible, horrible thing.
Oh no. I want to know a fun fact. I haven't thrown up since I was 15.
Oh my God, you're like Jerry Seinfeld in that episode where
Wait, really?
Yeah, there's like an episode where he's like bragging about he hasn't puked since like the 80s or something, and then he ends up getting sick.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say now that I've said that I'll probably get sick, but
it's
horrible.
It was
I had the norovirus when I was 15, and I missed my physics test, and
You've never been food poisoned?
Not that I know of. Maybe diarrhea version, but not from the attic.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay,
can I just say one more thing?
Yes.
My honorable mention, my favorite part of the circle was when Luke said that he's starting to feel like family, and Janet goes, "Well, I knew you were family when you won me 3,000 tickets last week." I love
That's
that.
You.
That's me.
You.
Yeah.
That's you.
I'm seeing myself more and more in Janet.
No, that's really funny. I love that. My final hell no moment is I'm pissed at Brittany. I'm pissed at Brittany.
Really?
And I know she's going through some hard stuff, but that doesn't make her not shady. And I think it was really shady that she knows Zach, and she's known Zach since they were like teenagers in Kentucky. And like they've known each other for like 14 years or something.
Right.
And so like the fact that he was blackout drunk, which isn't an excuse. Like an adult shouldn't be getting blackout drunk. Like I agree with something Janet saying that in the after show. But at the same time, she has a husband, okay, with substance abuse issues.
Yeah,
if anyone here understands someone that's not in a condition to actually be quoting, or if she understands Zach as a person and his life and where he's going and where he's at in life, I just think it was really fucking low of her to go, and maybe she did it to push attention on the show off of her and Jackson on to other people, but whatever the motive is doesn't excuse the fact that it was shady as hell for her to go to Janet the next day at lunch and tell pregnant Janet, who they're supposedly protecting, because she's pregnant and they don't want anything bad to happen,
Right.
that Zach wishes her baby to die.
Is that what she told her?
She did. She went and told her that he said he didn't care if her baby, whatever.
Okay, I'm not excusing his actions, and I think I said one point that I was like, why are we being nice to her just because she's pregnant? I don't
Well,
want.
that was what they said. That's what he said. He's like, why Janet isn't like untouchable because she's pregnant, and they're like, stress can make her like lose the baby, and he was like, I don't care. Like that's literally how he responded.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To them directly, to Michelle saying it was Brittany and Michelle sitting there on the couch.
Oh,
at
that's right, at
Jax's bar.
Jax. Yeah, okay.
And they were like, and she was like, you can't say that. Like, stress can make her lose the baby. And then Zach was like, I don't care if she loses the baby. Like having this total childlike meltdown.
Okay, yeah, that's not cool.
It's just, obviously he doesn't want her baby to die. Like, I just have, even if he literally said, I hope her baby dies, like, I still don't believe he means that.
Right.
But maybe that's because I hang out with a lot of air signs that, you know, have vulnerable moments sometimes. I don't know.
Thank you. We do.
Yeah, I just don't think that, like, how could Brittany really think that he meant that? And then why, if they really care about Janet, why would she go tell Janet that? And so that's why I'm pissed at Brittany. And I just think that, like, I can be supportive of her and see that she's going through some hard stuff. But, like, I also think, like, ew. And I also hated that in the kitchen when Zach pulls Janet to go have a conversation, she goes, oh, look at my friends talking to each other again. I hate when someone's having a hard time with something and someone decides to be the bigger person. I hate commentary like that. That's giving like your old fucking grandma or your aunt that like can't hold you know what I mean? Like just shut the fuck up. I honestly, for me, if someone did that, I'd be like, now I'm not talking to her. And you did that. Like that's how I would want to react to it. It was so annoying. Yeah. It was so annoying. And I know her intentions are good, but it's just like,
it's patronizing.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm angry at Brittany.
Okay.
I'm not Team Jax though. There's no way.
Yeah. You're like, don't worry. I'm not.
I want to be clear. Hey, everyone listening, I want to be clear. Anyway, I'm sure she'll make it up to me next week, but maybe not if Nia's yelling at her.
Right.
I'm excited to see where it goes. Is there anything with the after show you want to address? There was so much said in the after show.
Nothing really. Just more of just like Jax being a mess and wanting her to put everything that he's done to her to the side to text him. I'm gonna use a Tom Schwartz vocabulary word. Mm-hmm. If you are watching Vanderpump Rules like Thomas is, you'll notice that these guys have specific Scrabble words that they like to use over and over again. One of Tom Schwartz's favorite words is diatribe. And while I was watching the after show, I was exhausted by Jax's diatribe about how he just wants support. He just wants a Post-it letter telling him he's going to be good. Like, does he not understand what a breakup is? Does he not understand? You don't get the privileges of your wife anymore, sir. Sir, yeah,
you can't go
real.
Fucking OnlyFans models and leaving dirty thongs in the bathroom and expect her to write you an I love you, you're going to be okay letter.
Because she
probably doesn't want you to be okay. She wants you to die.
She wants him to be okay, but not in her life anymore. I mean, maybe to co-parent, but like, it's like
I think like in the confessionals filming the show, I think that there's still an energy that like Jax could still have a chance. And then I think now seeing the after show and hearing the podcasts, there's no fucking way that guy's got a chance.
Yeah,
like you can sense the difference in Brittany.
When Lala said, I think when you're pregnant with your second child with someone else, then he'll maybe realize there's no chance.
That felt like it came from a personal experience that Lala was mentioning, which I loved. Yeah, it's so fucking loud. Live in the ghetto. We live in the ghetto. There we
live
go.
in the valley.
So, okay, fine. You're right. It can be ghetto sometimes. Okay. So now that we're done talking about the Valley, I do want to talk about something very related, and that's Sheena had her 40th birthday this week.
Oh,
And
fun.
podcasters that I listen to, like Heather McDonald, got to go, and lots of people went. A photographer I follow on Instagram took some great photos at the event. It was a death to her 30s, a very a very
macabre.
common party theme done in LA here.
Okay.
Usually it's death to 20s, as I've been tending lately, but death to 30s. And she wore this gorgeous red dress, and there's pictures of like Brock with her cake, and half of it's red and half of it's black. Like the 30s are black and the 40s are red.
Oh,
and
fun.
everyone looked really good, but I thought it was hilarious because like even Sheena couldn't have that moment. Because the next day, when the pictures and all the stuff was coming out about the party, Bravo dumped a bunch of new shows on us that are coming out. So they're doing the upfronts right now, and if you're like not familiar with the upfronts, if you work in TV or if you work in marketing, like the streamers and the what the fuck, like why don't they? Okay, the streamers and like the TV networks, they all release. They have this event called the Upfronts where they invite all their corporate partners and all their marketing brands and related people to come and see what's coming down the pipeline that makes them a valuable place for them to spend their money to advertise. And I used to love tuning into the Upfronts when I worked in TV, and I would sit and watch what the announcements are. It's like Christmas morning. And so the list from Bravo came out, Bravo Peacock, and we've got Below Deck Mediterranean coming back for season 10. We have Below Deck Down Under coming back for season 4. We have Southern Charm coming back for season 11. Very excited
gosh.
about that. I hope it's better than last season. Southern Hospitality is coming back for season 4. Also very excited about that. We've got The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills coming back for season 15. And if Kyle Richards participates in this season, she will become the longest standing housewife.
Oh,
Which has created rumbles about Vicky Gunvalson coming back to do the greenlit Real Housewives of Orange County season 19 because she's the current title holder. Then we have the Real Housewives of Potomac coming back for season 10. Salt Lake City for season 6. I love Salt Lake City. I'm definitely covering
already
it.
season 6?
Yeah.
Like it just
Have you
premiered.
watched it yet? Have you watched it?
That's the screenshots, reports, timeline, that thing.
Yeah, Heather really hit her stride that season. Like she knows what we need. She knows the soundbite to deliver. And she did Ozempic, so she looks great. And she's like shameless about how better her life experience is now that she's skinny, which is a whole nother conversation.
I love that.
But I love Salt Lake. You should absolutely watch Salt Lake City. Like you'll watch it in a weekend. It's so good.
Okay.
They hit season 1 and they're sprinting. Like it's so good. Ladies of London. This is technically the 3rd season, but it's going to be like a revamp of the show. And I really liked the first Ladies of London series, so I'm excited about that.
Okay.
The Valley Persian style. So they're bringing back Shaws of Sunset, and they all live in the Valley now too, so they're doing another Valley show. And I'm actually really excited about that.
The Valley Persian style. That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about that. And then they have Wife Swap Real Housewives Edition. So they're going to do... I know. I'm so excited. Does that sound so good?
Oh my God. Yeah.
And they have details broken down for that stuff. But I'm also really excited because I think I'm planning to bring the podcast to BravoCon in November.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, and I don't have details on it yet, and I haven't been able to register yet. So if you're listening to this and you know anything, please reach out to me. But I'll be looking into it, and I definitely want to be at BravoCon November 14th and 15th in Vegas. So I think that'll be really cool, and I think we'll just do like a bunch of giveaways. People can come meet. We'll do some live podcasting, and we'll just have a bunch of like giveaways for people to like fill out a little ballot and enter for, and they'll be all Bravo related.
I love that.
And I'm going to include some of Aaron's honey because I bought a thing of honey. And I think next time you're on, we should do a taste test of it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to get a way to ship you a bottle.
That's so nice. Okay. Babe, can you pass me the splooge? I'm just going to drizzle some splooge.
Maybe we start uncut white honey that's a little bit different.
Ew. Yes.
We could sell it on Santa Monica Boulevard instead of Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, and not in a suitcase. We open up, we like unzip our pants, and it's in our pants.
Wait, we'll have hot men with no shirts, just
There
like
it is.
undo their pants, and then the honey bottle's there.
Oh my God, we should have Jesse will want to do it because he'll want to make Aaron's business fail.
Oh my God! Let's go to Jesse with it. Let's go
Okay.
to Jesse with it, and we'll have a rival white honey company.
Great.
Oh my God! I'm gonna TikTok this to Jesse. He needs to. This is. We'll help him. We need a cut on this, but I think it's genius.
Perfect. Well, let's go work on that business
Are
plan.
we like? Are we Kristen? Are we Team Jesse now?
I'm team.
If he keeps his shirt off, you're Team Shirt Off. That's what.
Yeah, I'm team hot. And right now he's winning that. So no, my allegiance goes everywhere. I'm team this show, and I'm team the Bravo verse. I've completely drunk the Kool-Aid. And like I said, this is now a soap opera for me. These people are characters, not
Right.
real people.
They're consenting adults, and if anything, the people on the Valley know exactly how these shows are made. Like it's not like we're watching a 21-year-old fuck up their life on national television. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a big difference.
That was James Kennedy earlier on.
And yeah, and I think that like the fact that Michelle is choosing to come film, even though these people drive each other crazy, like it's something that they're consenting into. And they all have other careers. They're not dependent on this to survive. So it's not a toxic situation. I think that like it's really cool that the show is on and it's doing what it's doing. I love it. I love The Valley. It's my favorite show right now. Everything else seems boring. Summer House seems...
Really?
I don't give a shit about Jesse and Lexi. Nobody else on that show is bringing any drama. Summer House is boring. The Valley, you can't compete. This is like when Salt Lake City Jen Shah got detained by the FBI on camera. Like nothing else could compete at the time.
Wow. Okay. I don't even know what that is. I should look into that.
Girl, she was on a production bus and they were filming on a trip and she just got off the bus and no one knows where she went. And then moments later, the FBI raided it.
Whoa.
You got to watch Salt Lake City. It's so
That'll
good.
be next.
I love that you're converted. It only took me like 10 years to get you to do this.
Yeah. My sister too.
Next time, I hope you trust us. I hope you trust me and your sister next time we tell you.
Yeah. I do.
Great. Okay. Well, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for attending your meeting today.
Thank you so much.
Next week, I do have some other special guests coming, but Thomas will be back to talk about the Valley soon. And
I'm so
meeting
excited to hear.
adjourned.
I'm so excited to hear from this new person.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be different and exciting. So I think it'll be great.
Well, thank you for having me.
Anyway, anytime. Meeting adjourned. Addicts, thank you for attending Bravoholics Anonymous. You can follow us online. Let us know if you have any feedback or questions. Review, subscribe, like, whatever, the podcast, because it's important for other people to find it. And that's everything for today. Keep your champagne cold and your taglines iconic.
Should I stop?